So what happens when I take a Honey Nut Cheerios box, some velveteen ribbon, some Tim Holtz fabrics, and a piece of tatting? What can we create? We can create a brand new Hidden Spine junk journal. Let's turn all of this into this. A gorgeous Hidden Spine junk journal cover. This is the secret, the Hidden Spine. We're going to sew our signatures onto this and then glue that back in, and we will have the most beautiful junk journal. So stay tuned if you're interested in learning how to use cereal boxes, fabrics, and papers, and any kind of lace that you have to turn into a gorgeous junk journal. So I'm planning on my cover right now. I'm going to use a Honey Nut Cheerios box, this gigantic box. And I've decided for my measurements, the one that I just finished, my Resurrection Hope, this was 5 inches wide, and it was about 7 3/4 tall. And I only had a 1 3/4 inch spine, which the spine's way too small. See what happens? I put 3 signatures in it, and the minute I put anything in it, it just becomes a gator mouth. And I don't really want to tie it because I think, yeah, anyway. So I decided for the pink and yellow one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 5 1/2, so it gives me 1/2 inch a little bit wider. And I'm going to use the 3-inch spine on here, and I'm going to do it 10 tall. So this was, how tall? This was 7 5/8. So I'm going to do, I think 10 for right now. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this, and we're going to leave the spine, and then I'll show you what our next steps are. My tip is to trim most of the box away and then put it in your cutter, because I have found that as much as I would like to say I cut straight, I really don't. And when I'm making a book, I really want it to be straight. So I trimmed it enough that I could get it into my cutter. So that's my goal, and that's my suggestion. Okay, so we're gonna do this side. Now I'm actually going off my lines versus the top and bottom, because I already don't even have it cut straight. I just cut it, and now I'm seeing that I didn't cut it straight. So I'm gonna try and make it as straight as I can. And then this one, it won't go in there. So I'm gonna have to cut that by hand. Okay, so let's move that. Now I threw away all the other pieces, except I am going to keep one piece that's at least close to 3 inches wide, because I want to use that for my hidden spine support. Again, I'm cutting on my lines because I drew all the pencil lines. And hopefully I'm cutting straight. There we go. Okay. So, wow, that's big. That's huge. Well, we're just going to see. I've never done a 3-inch spine. But like I said, having made that one, I know it was way too small. Okay, the next thing, while I'm just cutting and prepping, I am going to go ahead and trim this extra piece. Okay, so now I have it the same height. It has to be narrower than my 3 so that it fits in there, because when I did the Resurrection Hope book, I didn't trim it down, and then when I went to use it, it was too wide. So we are going to go ahead. We're going to trim this down. So this is, what did I say? It's a 3-inch spine, right? Is that what I just said? it is 3. Okay, so Diane just cut it to 3. Yep, I'll get this cut to 3. And now it will fit in there. So there's all my prep and cutting. Now, the next step of prep that you have to do is I am going to be using fabric. And I'm going to test my fabric, and you'll see that coming up on top of this design. However, if all these bright colors show through my fabric, I'm going to have to go ahead and cover this. I may just go ahead and cover it anyway, and then I don't have to worry about it showing through. So let me get my fabric and we'll check it out. Now, I did a video about buying the new Tim Holtz fabrics, and I am so excited that I bought them. And these are the ones that I've picked out that I would like to use in some way. And then I went through the rest of my stash and I picked out this really pretty piece of lace. I don't know where I'm going to use it. This is from a shirt that I got at a thrift. And then, of course, I have this phenomenal piece, and I want to use it. This is a piece that I got on an online auction, which is gorgeous. And then this is another piece. Where did I get this? I have no idea. Oh, you can see I already sprayed near it. So here's all the pieces that I'm trying to fit on here, right? And I always do like a patchwork. And then I have these 2 pieces. I have no idea. I would love to use these on the cover. So whether those are my accents, not really sure. But let's look at this piece for a second. So, I hate to cut into the design, right? But wow, that is so gorgeous. I don't want all this white. I'm thinking I could just like kind of cut around there. Now, what if we laid that on, like this was a piece of the cover, right? Look at that. Let's see, do we like, oh, isn't that beautiful? So at this point, this is all about auditioning. You are auditioning fabrics and designs. I'm really kind of liking that. So I think if I cut it out, right, and then I could sew it on my sewing machine. Okay, so you can see how this color shows through on the white. Now, is it going to show through on these colored? We will see. Probably, because, yeah, see, you can see I can read it. Okay, so that means I'm going to have to stop for a second, and I'm going to go get some white paper or brown paper or whatever, and I'm just going to go ahead and glue it all onto here so that I do not have to worry about this. And then I can do more auditioning and playing with the fabrics. So I'm going to use white cardstock. That's what I figured out I'm just going to use. And so I'm going to glue it onto here. Plus, you know, that actually will reinforce it. So that's a good thing. So I'm going to do it in 3 pieces so that it folds properly. Okay, so there's the one. And I'm using a glue stick. I think that this glue works good enough that it will really hold it together. Plus, I'm gonna, hopefully I can sew on it. I don't know that now that I'm using, I'm saying that because I'm putting cardstock. Is my needle going to go through it? 2 pieces of cardboard plus fabric. Well, we'll see. Okay, so we'll do that, and then I'll trim those and I'll do that. Oh, this is when I wish you were with me. Oh, I think I get the mentality of, okay, I only have so much, and so it has to be like so precious. And so I kind of put this stuff together. I wasn't even going to use this. And then I looked at it and went, oh, isn't that stunning? This looks so pretty on this print. Then I went, so this was the first one. And I went, well, this would be the spine, and then this will be the back. And then I went, well, that's okay. So I went and grabbed the rest of the pink. And now I'm thinking that this spine should be like these numbers. And then maybe I piece this and put 2 pieces here with the tickets. Like I said, this is when I need you all to be with me. Oh, goodness sake. It's all so gorgeous. Or the stamps. Oh, wait, the stamps, because look, it's white and white. That's what we have to do. We have to do a piece like that, and we'll do that. Okay, then this piece, while I love it, maybe I'll use it for something else on the inside. Okay, so now let's try this combo. Okay, this is gonna be on the front, and I'm gonna put this right at the edge so that sticks out. Okay, you just have to say go, Diane. I'm just gonna do it. Okay, I'm gonna start cutting, and I'll put the camera back on once I get the pieces placed so you'll get a better understanding of what I'm doing. But this is what you have to do. You just have to audition, right? You gotta keep trying things and different combinations, and it's turning out the whole cover's pink, and it was supposed to be a pink and yellow. And then I was trying to figure out, well, how do I put the yellow in there, right? Maybe. Okay, well, now that I'm saying that while the camera's still on, maybe I do that there, but it doesn't work as well. There is pink in here, but there's not enough yellow over here for me to make that work. What other yellow? See, and then we've got, I don't want to do those two together. That's not going to work. What else do we have? Okay, I like this combination. Diane, just do it. If you want to make a whole yellow journal, then make a whole yellow journal. That's what I'm gonna do. I have got my pieces all torn, ready to go. And I love this. Isn't this just gonna be stunning? Look at that. Yes, it's going to be just beautiful. And I love that this comes out a little bit. I think it adds just a fun piece. Okay, so I'm gonna start on the back, and I decided to not make it in half, to make it 2/3, because that's always much more pleasing to the eye. And I gave myself enough to put over the spine and then to wrap so that I can then wrap it around is gonna be my goal. So we are going to, what do I wanna do? Let's see, do I want to use fabric tack? I have such an issue with fabric tack. It's like it takes forever to dry. You know what, this is nice and sturdy. I'm using this, and then I am going to go ahead and probably use that fabric tack on the edges or something like that. That's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna put tons of glue on here. Really get it good on all the edges. And then we're gonna lay this down. Okay, so I want it to be up about there. That gives me just enough to wrap. Okay, now what I need to do is I need to get this, because we've got to stretch the fabric out. And see how perfect that I put the white underneath? Definitely, these are, you know, this is cotton, 100% cotton fabric, so it's not super sturdy, let's put it that way. Now, why is that? Oh, it's rolling over. Okay, I don't want it rolling over, Diane. There we go. There we go. I just realized I was doing my laundry and I forgot to close the door. Okay, I am happy with that. That's looking good. Now let's get, I don't need all those, don't need all these threads everywhere, but it's okay. Okay, and this piece is going to be up here, and I definitely cut more than I needed, but that's okay. I'll probably put a piece of trim across here where they join together. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Should I fold it? Make a nice, no, I'm just gonna put trim on it. That's what I'm gonna do. So let's get this piece super glued up, right? There we go, get over there. Let's get those extra. That's the good part, is tearing, because now it's straight. The bad part is then you get all the excess little threads. Now I like those usually, but not for this project, not for what we're doing here. Okay, so that looks, let's see. Oops, no, I have it crooked, Diane. I don't have it over there as far as I wanted to, because I want to be able to put this piece on and cover everything really nicely. As I said, the beauty of doing these pieces like this is then you can always just put the put a piece of trim along that joining line, right? Okay, like why is my glue acting like it's not there? There we go. Okay, now let's get some glue on here. There we go. Perfect. Oh, it's so beautiful. There's just something about paper and fabric that I absolutely love. So I said, I used to sew all my own clothes. I mean, I was raised that that's what girls did. You had to learn all that. We still had home ec when I was a girl. But of course, I always tell you I'm 73. Of course, that's what they did. I know they don't do that anymore. It's really a shame. I think it's a shame, and here's why. Because they did split us up, and boys didn't come into home ec, which is sad. But girls, young women today, I meet so many that have no idea how to cook. They have no idea how to go food shopping. They have no idea how to plan a budget and a menu and do all that kind of stuff because they weren't taught that in school. And then their parents didn't teach them. Now, I raised 3 boys before I adopted my girls, and oh, they had to learn all that. They all had to learn how to cook for themselves. They all had to learn how to, plan a meal and have a real meal, not going to McDonald's. I don't count that as food, as any kind of food. Anyway. And so 2 of my, well, actually all 3 of my boys ended up really enjoying cooking. 2 of them more than the oldest. Patrick, my oldest, he's the griller guy. So like he thinks that's, and he does good. Although he's a single dad now raising my grandsons, and he amazed me when I was up there. He actually made side dishes, veggies and stuff. And they were really good. So I was like, wow, you've come so far. But as I said, just so many young people have no clue. When my daughter-in-law, my oldest son, when he got married, she was raised like a princess, and she did not, her mother and grandmother did everything. They didn't really train her. So she marries my son, and she starts saying, I'm spending all this and this much money going grocery shopping. I looked at her and I was like, wait, there's 2 of you. Why are you spending all that? Well, I go, and then she told me the store, and I was like, well, of course, that's why you're spending so much. You're going to the most expensive store in town. Like, why? So I took her to Aldi's, and she just, the whole time she was, oh my gosh. So she checked out. She goes, I only paid $200 for all this whole cart, and this would have cost me $400 at the other store to be unnamed. And I said, yep, you're exactly right. So she and I got along well because she was like, well, you have to teach me all this stuff, Diane. I don't know any of this. And I'm like, sure, I'll teach you, because I didn't want to see my son, throw money away that he didn't need to spend because they were going to one expensive store. So anyway. So yes, I was raised in the era of you have to learn how to cook, and you have to learn how to clean, and you got to do all that kind of stuff. Okay, I think we're doing okay. That's looking really, really good, isn't it? I am happy with that. Okay, let's put some more glue on this side. So we got that really good and adhered to. Sorry, I'm shaking the camera. I apologize. Okay. So now that looks good. So I feel like I should turn these sides back before I add that, but let me think for a second. Okay, here's our piece that we're going to use, and I made it bigger, kind of like all over, right? Okay, am I making it too big, Diane? Here's actually... No, I think it'll be okay because it's going to wrap around. Which is what I wanted it to do. I didn't want to have it just on the very edge of the bend because then that would pull too much on the fabric. Okay, let's do this for a second. Yeah, that's bent. Let's make sure this can bend, right? Before I put anything down on there because we have to have enough give for our fabric. I am going to do that. Like I said, I just feel like that's what I should do now. Okay, we are going to wrap this now. Okay, so we're going to pull it tight and we're going to wrap it. Okay, now before I do that, Diane, you didn't cut that correctly. There we go. Did I do it right? Do it on this side. There we go. Let's do these two while I'm cutting. And this one. Okay, so let's put that aside. Now I think that that's going to wrap much nicer, yes. Although, did I go down there far enough? Let's see. Put some glue on it, and then we're going to wrap it around. There we go. So we're going to pull that. Actually, I'm glad I'm using the glue stick, and here's why. Because you see, I have a lot of power with the fabric. I really have the ability to pull the fabric in the direction that I want. And I don't feel like I do that with Fabri-Tac. Now, I think other people use it and they're just perfectly fine. I don't know, maybe it's just me, right? But let's get that in there. This is, this just feels like it's working well for me right now. Let me turn that back. Make sure it's all glued down on the top. Okay, there we go. My dog's is having a dream. If you hear a little whimper, it's because they're dreaming. Okay, now we're going to do this side. Get all this done. And I'm so glad I put the white on the front. Do you see the difference? I'll show you in a second. You'll see the difference through the fabric. So this is beige, but I'm going to put a piece of paper on top of this. So I think it's, you know, it'll be okay. It'll work. We're not going to really see the fabric through. I'm not going to see the beige is what I'm trying to say. Let's make sure I got enough glue on that. There we go. As I said, you really want to pull your fabric. Pull it really tight. There we go. I'm excited about doing this journal with you because I have learned so much in the past couple weeks with between Mass Make March and everybody doing that and teaching me all these cool things. And now the ABCs that everybody's doing for junk journaling, I'm picking up a lot of tips from that. So I feel like I have definitely benefited by all this. I wish that I could have participated, but I did not. The ABC thing, they announced that 2 days before April 1st, which there was no way I could jump in because I already had my Bible study getting ready to go on and lots of other things. There was no way I could participate in it. So I just decided, well, then that's okay, because what you're going to do, look at this, is I'm going to enjoy what everybody else is doing. Oh my gosh, is that not just gorgeous? Look, we're going to glue that. We're going to put that right on the very edge. Oh, I'm heaven. I'm so glad I pulled that out. Oh, it's going to be so pretty. Okay, let's go back over here now. Now, I gotta think this through. We're gonna put this on here. My question to myself is, so I didn't pull that tight enough, I don't think. Oh, it's gonna be tight now. It's kind of making a little crease right there, but that's okay. I was like, this is the question I have to decide. Am I gonna put a piece of trim on here to seal the fabric? If I can sew, I could just sew it, right? Or I could fold it like that. Then I don't have to worry about it fraying or coming apart. So I'd have to come over a little bit more. Have to be over the fold is what I was trying to accomplish. And then maybe do the same thing back here. Well, there's the natural fold of the fabric, so maybe we just leave that folded like that. And then this fold, is that far enough? Does that leave me really enough to go over the edge? I think it's right on the border. Let's measure it and see. Oh, it's 3.5, so that's, here's my new idea. I decided look at the ribbon so you can make up your mind. And wouldn't you know, I just got these 2 velvet ribbons. From where, guys? Dollar Tree. And look, if this is not the perfect color. Like this goes with this. I guess it goes with both of them. I think I like the soft one. So if I'm gonna use the soft one, then I don't have to fold this. Then I don't have to really worry about it. Just go over a little bit, right? And then I'll sew, or glue, I'll glue it and then maybe sew it, but maybe I'll just glue it. And doesn't that look gorgeous? I mean, I'm happy with that. And then this will go on there like that. Look how pretty that is. Now, the only thing I'm not doing right this minute is I'm not planning on how to close this. So many decisions. So if you were here, tell me in the comments, did you pick the darker color or did you pick the soft color? I'm picking the soft color. If you were here, I would love to have your input. But I think I'm gonna do the soft color. Okay, so then that means, now I know what to do next. I'm just going to come a little bit on there is what I'm gonna do. And then I'm probably gonna have to trim the back. So be careful, Diane. How are you gonna trim it once it's halfway down, right? Yeah, 'cause, oh my gosh, look how far that went. Actually, it just needs trimmed right on the fold. Okay, let's cut it. Let's rip it on the fold. Okay, come on. Oh my gosh. Why do you not want to tear right there? Let's see. I guess I could just cut it because it's on the fold. Let's see if I did enough that I could rip it. There we go. Okay, that's much better. There, now I've got just the right amount on both sides. Let's just make sure, Diane, what do they always say? Measure twice, cut once. Okay, it's just over enough, and this is just the perfect width to cover it. And so it would be, let's see, let's just play and pretend again some more. Okay, so the book would fold right there and be like that. Yes. Okay, that's working. Okay, we're gonna glue. Just gonna glue it down. Okay, we're gonna come over onto here a little bit, and I'm not real worried because, as I said, I'm gonna be using the I know I'm gonna use the ribbon, so let's get this really glued up because it's our spine, and we for sure do not want that to come off. And you got to go over a little bit on there too, Diane. Go over your line a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to start in the front, and that way I know it'll be lined up. that I can see it, more importantly. But again, don't worry, Diane, because you keep forgetting you're going to use the ribbon, which I already talked. See why I stopped to make sure I wanted to use the ribbon? Because now that I know what ribbon I'm using, I'm very happy. It's a total coordination. It looks really, really good. Now you just got to get it straight, Diane. There. Let's get the fabric straight. It's pulling too much. I'm pulling the design. And of course, because it's letters, you can really see it, huh? Okay. I think that might be over too far. Oh, no, it's not. There's the curve. Okay, let's see. There. Yep, that's perfect. And that's perfect too. Yep, okay, it is right. Now, go ahead and just make sure it's glued down. We're getting there. We're getting there. There we go. And see what I was saying? I'm so glad I put the white cardstock down because it really brings out the natural colors in this, in the fabrics. If I had left it brown, I think it would have just kind of given it a whole different sense. Okay, get all the glue off my fingers with the strings. I can't do it. Oh my gosh, stop. Okay, let's make sure we got enough on here to cover that. There we go. And I feel like, yeah, there we go. It's not enough glue on there, Diane, to really make a nice clean line. You know, I know everybody's having the thoughts, because I've had them, like this new tariff that's going into effect with China, and we just lost Joann's, right? So like, where are we supposed to get stuff? And because of course I buy from Temu. Well, I guess I'm not going to be ordering from Temu. As I think I mentioned in another video, I made an order over a month ago. It's still not here, and they're saying it might be another 2 weeks. So I don't know if the tariff stuff, it got caught in that. I mean, I bought it before the tariff conversation even came up, so who knows? Something I ordered 3 days later has already come, so I don't really know what happened with that whole thing. But anyway, my point being, we still have Dollar Tree, and we have thrift shops, okay? And you have Etsy, and you have, oh my gosh, what is it? What's the big, eBay. You have eBay, okay? So you can get fabrics and things off of eBay also. So we do have some options. I'm not going to go there. Like I said, the most important thing is go to Dollar Tree first. Look at all the things that I get at Dollar Tree. Look at that ribbon. If I ordered this from Taperology or somewhere else, it'd be like $7, $1.25. Okay, so yeah, that's just kind of, we got it just all, okay. There. Good thing I'm putting ribbon on because it's not really as straight as I was hoping it was going to be. But it's okay because the ribbon is going to make it perfect for us, isn't it? So I'm going to put the ribbon on here like that. Right? And then I'm going to put the ribbon down that way too. Yep, that's the way it's going to go. And that's just gorgeous. Okay, so we're going to wrap that around there, but we're not going to wrap it here. Let's go ahead and put that down because I already know I'm going to do it. So go ahead and get this done. So yeah, this video is just about making the cover. There we go. Oh, I didn't leave enough, Diane. Wait, hold on, you didn't leave enough. That's going to go right on the edge, so that's all I have to worry about from there. Yeah, I have to leave enough that it will get caught under this part. Yeah, there we go. We'll wrap that around there. Okay. There we go. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, let's put the ribbon on here. Now, I'm seeing all this extra fabric there, and I'm kind of like, do I do something about it or not? I don't know. Maybe if we leave it folded, maybe I should be waiting till it's dry. No, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Stay there. You're not supposed to move. Okay, I need enough to come to wrap around. There we go. We got lots of glue right there, don't we? And Diane, you have to be on this side of the fold. Let's fold it and see where we are. There we go. That's what I want to do. Yes, see, that's smarter, Diane. Then you're much more even on the fold when I do it that way. Okay. Okay. Yep, that goes like that. I hope I can sew this on my sewing machine. I mean, I won't freak out if I can't. It would just be nice to do it, I'll tell you. Okay, we're gonna wrap that around. Now I know I left enough on this side. I'm gonna wrap it there. There we go. Okay, so there's the back. You can't see, I'm just looking at it. I think I'll put some glue underneath it once I, yeah. Oh, there is enough, good. Uh-oh, that's not a nice part. That got messed up. Let's go over here. I'll just cut that part off. Okay, now let's do this. Then I will leave this alone and I will begin to put my signatures. I'll teach you how to put the signatures together. Okay, I'm going to kind of bend it up a little bit because I want it right on the edge of the bend. Yep, there we go. Right like that. Okay. There we go. Now, somehow, whatever, it'll work. This is handmade, Diane, remember. Right? Miss Perfectionist here. So I'll pull that down, get that down. There we go. Okay. So everything is totally dry. I went ahead and glued on my piece of this beautiful, I don't know what it is, tatting, I've heard people say. And so I think it's gorgeous. And then, of course, after I looked at all that, I realized I put this fabric upside down. But you know what? Does it really matter? No, because it's all letters. And then I went ahead and, used my art glitter glue and went underneath everything. I decided not to sew it, and here's why. Because I had already put this down, and I think that it would have messed up. I don't think that I could be such a perfect sewer to make all the lines straight. So I just decided, you know what, I like it the way it is. And so it is just beautiful. The last step that we need to do to be ready, I went ahead and I glued my papers on the inside and covered up everything, so that's looking good. So we are now ready to move forward with our signatures. So the last step in the process is to have the piece that's going to be our hidden spine, and you need to make it smaller than whatever width and a little bit smaller on the height your spine is. So mine was technically, it was 3 1/16, which, okay, but I cut this This is 2 7/8 or something like that. Okay, so you just want to make sure it's smaller. How do you know it's the right size? Because stick it in there, go to close this, and if it closes, it works. I learned that on my last one. I went ahead and put the fabric on before I really checked it, okay? Now, the other thing is, because I had put white on the cereal box, I decided to cover this also. So it is ready. Now, here is the fabric that I have decided that I am going to be using for the hidden spine part. It's funny, my head, before I started this, it was going to be pink and yellow. And I was going to use some of both of the yellow Tim Holtz fabrics and the pink. And guess what? It ended up being all pink. So I think what I'm going to do inside, we'll see, right, on future videos. I'm going to try and use some of the yellow pages, the Sunshine Serenity pages, as well as the Pink Parfait pages, okay? So I know that that looks really good. I ended up picking that because it has to be over. Now, what size does this need to be? Again, I'm not going to measure anything for you because it doesn't matter because you're going to use a different size box and everything like that. Basically, what I do is I want about 1/2 inch on each side because that's what's going to go on to the pages, right? And then I want just a little bit at the top and bottom that I can just, you know, fold back so that it's nice and neat when we glue this in. Now, this is where we are going to sew our signatures into this, okay? Just so you're understanding what we're doing. So I'm going to glue this on here, and then I will sew in my signatures to this piece. So the signatures will be attached to here, and then when all the signatures are in, we lay it right on here and glue it in. So see how simple that is? So here, let's get this. Let's get our glue on here, get this all ready, and then we can move forward with our gathering papers and all the fun stuff we want to put into this journal. Okay, let's make sure, well, it doesn't really matter top and bottom at this moment, but okay, so that looks about, and again, you know, we're humans. So I think that's nice on each side, and I think there's enough on top and bottom. So I think that is pretty good. Let's flip it over. Let's make sure that we get out any bumps in the glue. And I think it is ready to go. And it is, and that is the top, because now I can see the words. So this is what will be going into our Hidden Spine Junk Journal. So check out the next video. Now, this is going to be a whole bunch of videos. I can't tell you the number because it just depends. I'm going to try and get all my signatures put together in one video. Then I'll do another video where we're sewing them in. And this time I have the book that Leslie from 507 Willow House Journals made, and I made one to hopefully make it easier. And then future videos for this junk journal will be about making all the ephemera to go into it. So I hope that you like this video. Please share the video. And sharing can be really about, hey, did you know how to make a hidden spine junk journal? Because that's what this video is all about, right? How to get a cereal box, cover it with fabric, cover it with paper, and create a beautiful cover all ready for us to begin to add the most gorgeous ephemera. Till next time.